A very good day, everyone. So this is the second experiment, and the aim of the experiment is synthesis of metformin. In the last class, we synthesized proben acid, and I hope everyone is clear about the synthetic route to proben acid. The same mode of teaching will be followed in this practical. That is, first I will explain the procedure for the synthesis of metformin, and after that there will be a visual demonstration of how metformin can be synthesized. Talking about the pharmaceutical importance of metformin hydrochloride, well, this drug, it belongs to biguanide class of antidiabetics with anti-hyperglycemic activity, and it is a first line agent for the treatment of type 2 diabetes. This is the structure of metformin. It is quite a polar compound. As you can see, there is a primary amine, then this NH, and it will be synthesized in hydrochloride salt form. Coming to the synthetic route of metformin hydrochloride, you can easily see that the synthetic route involves a one-pot reaction of dimethylamine hydrochloride and 2-cyanoguanidine in a solvent that belongs to a family of aromatic hydrocarbons. We are talking about xylene. Now, benzene, toluene, xylene, they all belong to the family of aromatic hydrocarbons. So, this is not the only way how this drug can be synthesized. There are other protocols also. One way is to use water as a solvent and use a base. As you can see that we are using dimethylamine in the form of hydrochloride salt. Using water and a base will liberate the free amine, which will then attack the electrophilic carbon at this site. But we are not using that methodology. We are using xylene, so we are not using any base. We are using a solvent that belongs to a family of aromatic hydrocarbons. So how this reaction is taking place, it is important for all of us to understand this aspect. Well, cyanoguanidine in this reaction, when we use xylene as a solvent, will play a dual role. One as a reactant and the other as a base. Because cyanoguanidine is basic enough to liberate the free amine. And once the free amine is liberated out of dimethylamine hydrochloride, it can attack the electrophilic site at this reactant. So this is how the reaction will proceed. Of course, I will discuss the mechanism in the next slide. But before that, I want to tell you about the procedure, how metformin can be synthesized. You can just read the procedure. Step 1 is we have to place dimethylamine hydrochloride in a 100 ml round bottom flask. The quantity is mentioned 2.1 gram. Once it is done, we will add cyanoguanidine to the reaction mixture. Now it should be clear to you that cyanoguanidine in this case is playing a dual role, a reactant as well as a base. After this, we will add xylene, and then we will stir the reaction mixture and reflux it for around 2 to 2.5 hours. After refluxing the reaction mixture for around 2 to 2.5 hours, we will add hexane. Now, as you can see, metformin has been synthesized in the form of hydrochloride salt. That means it is in ionic state, very polar. So adding hexane will lead to precipitation of metformin hydrochloride. So once you see the precipitate, we will filter it by suction filtration using a Buckner funnel. So the methodology for the synthesis of metformin hydrochloride is quite simple. I repeat the procedure for you once again. We will take dimethylamine hydrochloride in a 100 ml round bottom flask and add cyanoguanidine to it. After that, we will add the solvent xylene and reflux the reaction mixture for 2.5 hours. After refluxing the reaction mixture for 2.5 hours, We will add hexane so that precipitation can take place, and then we will filter the precipitates. Make sure the compound is perfectly dried before you go on to calculate the percentage yield. So coming to the mechanism how metformin is being synthesized, I just told you that cyanoguanidine is playing a dual role. It is not just a reactant, but also a base in this reaction. So if you just look at this step, the amine of cyanoguanidine, the primary amine, will abstract the proton from dimethylamine, which will liberate the free base, that is dimethylamine, and cyanoguanidine will be obtained in ionic state. That means this nitrogen has been protonated and we will get it in hydrochloride salt form. I repeat, the amine functionality of cyanoguanidine, it will abstract a proton from dimethylamine hydrochloride, leading to the formation of free base, that is dimethylamine. After that, the free base will attack the electrophilic carbon of nitrile group. I repeat, once dimethylamine has been liberated in free form, it will attack the electrophilic carbon. Now just look at this state. The attack of amine on electrophilic carbon has taken place, which leads to a simultaneous movement of electrons towards this nitrogen. Now you can see there is a negative charge on nitrogen, so it will abstract a proton, the acidic proton, that is located at the protonated nitrogen. And this will lead to the formation of metformin hydrochloride. Once again, I repeat the mechanism. The mechanism involves deprotonation of dimethylamine hydrochloride, which will liberate the dimethylamine in the free form. Once it is liberated in free form, it will attack the electrophilic site, leading to simultaneous movement of electrons. And then this negative charge will abstract a proton, the acidic proton that is located on the protonated nitrogen, leading to the formation of metformin hydrochloride. That's all about the mechanism. After this, a video will be played and the PhD students of the School of Pharmacy will show you each step for the synthesis of metformin. In case there are any doubts, you can always write to me and I will reply back and try to solve your problems. Thank you very much.